Yeah. Before I hand it off to Peter and Harrison, there was something that Peter shared last week. There was like 3 things he shared with us. But I wanted to point this one out and elaborate how critical it is for you as loan officers here to be successful. So I think it was Peter's second point or third point where he said, right, because through the use of Gemini and AI and the integration of AI, Giving Tree, the idea is we're going to be able to, at closing, that it's important to touch up on certain key players at the point of closing. I can't stress to you guys how important that is to generate another lead or to establish your relationship, guys. Okay? Please take this away. If you have a transaction, so I think Christine had one who's closing, On has one closing, I, for myself, have one. At around closing time, okay, you always want to make 3 follow-up calls. Okay, it's actually really 4. Okay, don't just be like, hey, congratulations, and you're done via text or email. Right, everyone has like there's usually a running email chain that goes around, and you'll hey, congratulations on closing. No, you pick up that call, okay, and you always in over the phone or even in person, congratulate and thank the listing agent, the selling agent, escrow, and your borrowers. If this is not a practice of yours, that is automatic referrals that you're losing and further establishing your business. You are failing at that. Okay? There's a saying in our industry, you're as good as your last transaction, right? You could do 100 rights, okay, 100 great closings. You do one bad one, that agent may or may not just leave you and look for another lender, okay? Ian, is that true? You're as good as your last transaction?
You're always auditioning for your next transaction.
There you go. Okay. So now on top of that, out of mind, out of sight. You will be amazed at how many times you can do 3 deals in a month with a lender or a real estate agent, and their 4th deal, they're going to think about somebody else. Why? Because there was another loan officer that called them, okay, or emailed them or texted them, right? Timing is everything. And so when that loan transaction or when that escrow closes, you have to make sure to call the listing agent and seller agent and have a conversation with them. Okay, not just a congratulation, but hey, but highlight that transaction. Hey, something like, listing agent, it was a pleasure working with you. And highlight, you did a fantastic job of, I don't know. Meeting with allowing the appraiser an opportune time within 24 hours of scheduling. Thank you for that. That was very generous of you and really a good business tactic in allowing the seller credit of $3,000. Highlight them. Highlight what they did really well. Always give them a compliment. Okay? Always give a listing agent and a selling agent, even if the selling agent is someone you know, always compliment on something that they did very well. A highlight. Make them feel good. Okay? And as you discuss that, look, agents love to talk. Okay? They're like, oh, I know, like, it was 9 o'clock, it was 9 p.m. and I had to go put my kids down and my husband was late for work. They will talk, right? Let them talk. Okay? They're stressed, they're relieved, they want to celebrate. Make them feel good. And then number 2, after they talk, just ask for the business. Hey, it was such a pleasure working with you. I would love to do this again. If you have an open house, if you have a seller, if you have a buyer that's looking for a lender, I would really appreciate it if you can recommend me, right? Something to that effect, right? Make your pitch again. After they feel good, after you complimented them, let you and your ask, right? Your ask of, please send me a referral, be the lasting thing on their head. Okay? I do forget to do this sometimes, guys. I don't do this all the time, but I do a lot. And this is why, this is really how you develop, and cultivate your relationships, especially because, I mean, unlike Ian, who's meeting with them in Temecula, yeah, I don't see my agents face to face that much anymore, right? We're too busy with other things, right? And we're used to online working behind a computer now, but really, you guys need to be doing that with, again, your listing agent, your selling agent, your borrowers for a referral, okay, and even escrow, okay. Your borrowers are key, guys. I largely, before I came here, and C could attest to this, of 16 years, I've gotten lazy in some areas. I will admit that. But my consistency usually goes back to my book of business. I would say about 65-70% of my business comes from my book of business, because I always ask for a referral. It's the one thing that I always do. It's the one thing I was taught. It's the one thing I stuck to. I always ask for it. Okay. So I wanted to share that, give you that tidbit, and then I will let Peter, and I think Harrison's gonna go over Gemini.
Can I touch on that a little bit, Rogner?
Yeah.
I've been in the business a long time, right? I mean, I would get a random call and somebody would ask me, "Are you still doing loans?"
Yeah.
And that feels good that they ask me. It also makes me feel terrible that they still are questioning whether I still do loans, right?
Yeah.
So it just tells me I'm not doing enough marketing. So I myself need to do better. When you get random calls from people that you've come in contact with, past clients, and their question is, "Do you still do loans?"
Yeah.
Yeah, what else would I be doing? I love my job, right?
Yeah.
So it just tells me I really got to get much more efficient in getting more in front of my past clients, people that I've come in contact with. So that's always disappointing, and always kind of like a thing for me, where I'm glad that I'm hearing back from my old clients.
Yeah.
So just to touch on what you're saying earlier.
Thank you. I expect Christine and On, since your share what win for the week was your closings, I expect next Tuesday's call for you guys to share their win was, yeah, you had that conversation, and provide some color. All right, thank you guys. Peter, thank you.